Hi guys, this is Mary from Mary's Vegan Table, and today we did a survey asking people what they wanted me to do first on my first YouTube video, and pernil roast pork went out. And how I make my vegan roast pork is with jackfruit. Now I had it soaking for a little bit in water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So what I'm gonna do is, at first I empty the can, I rinse, and then I rinse them first, and then I soak them in the water with the vinegar. And what you want to do is, you want to squeeze out all the water, and put up all the water, because you want this to be as meaty as possible. You don't want it all wet and, you know, you just want it like a little, not dry, but you want it meaty. So we're gonna just squeeze all of this out, all the water out. And after we're done squeezing the water out, I'm gonna shred it up and put it in a cast iron skillet on the stove to dry a little more, and to give it that nice color. And then we'll season it with all the Spanish seasonings that pernil is normally seasoned with. So here we have it. It's nice, and all the water is squeezed out. Now you just take them and you pull them apart like this, and the seeds are edible. They're perfectly fine. Why waste them? And a lot of us are on a budget. Why waste if we don't have to? So when you come across those seeds, just squeeze them between your fingers, or you could crush them up while they're in the frying pan. These, sometimes the rind on the bottom is a little too hard to break with your fingers, so it will definitely soften up in the frying pan. And then you could cut it up. You could break it up with a fork or a knife. And here's like another seed. So what I'm going to do is just going to squeeze it. And they're slippery. They might go, flying around here and there. Excuse me. So as not to waste anything. So this is what we do. We break it up. We try to leave some chunks because, the roast pork is basically sliced up. But it's also, shreddy. So here it is. We're basically done with this. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put it in a dry skillet. No oil in it yet or anything. I'm just going to put it in there, so that way everything is nice and dry. And then later I will add the seasonings and the oil to it. Okay. And here we go. So let's just take this over to the stove so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the skillet, and what I'm going to do is just you hear the sizzle? Okay, we put everything in here. That's okay if it's like this, because like I said, we're going to break it up eventually anyway once we do put in the seasonings. Now we could cook the whole thing in this frying pan, or we could do it in the frying pan and then put it in the oven. But either way, it tastes good. And you can still get that crispiness on certain parts of it on the skillet, as well as in the oven under the broiler. So I'm going to go get some salt. I'm going to sprinkle some salt on this. What the salt is going to do, it's going to pull out the moisture. So be careful how much salt you put, because it might be too salty. And then later on you season it again, and then it's really salty. So just a little bit of salt. And then when we go actually into the seasoning, make sure you taste it first before you add salt again. Okay, so in the bowl, what I'm going to do is I am going to add my dry ingredients. I'm going to add about, I guess you could say, a tablespoon of oregano, about maybe a teaspoon of coriander, about another teaspoon of cilantro, a little half a teaspoon of cumin, about another teaspoon of achoite powder, and maybe it's about a teaspoon. This is turmeric, about a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper, about a teaspoon, actually that's about a tablespoon of garlic powder. That's fine because we love our garlic in our meats, our vegan meats. And onion, which is also about a tablespoon. And here, plenty of chopped garlic. We love our garlic and roast pork. Okay, and now I'm gonna get about a couple of tablespoons of the sofrito. You guys have had, some of you guys have already tasted my roast pork jackfruit, and you seem to like it. So I hope you let me know what you think if you make the recipe. Let me know how it turns out and share it with us. Okay, so now we have about 2 tablespoons of the sofrito in here. Now I'm gonna pour in about, let's see, that's about a 1/4 cup of oil. Now you could use canola oil, you could use olive oil, you could use coconut oil, but I wouldn't use any like oils that have like a heavy flavor to it, like avocado. Definitely not sesame seed oil. I'll see if I should add a little vinegar in it later on, because sometimes the jackfruit already has like that tangy little taste to it, and I don't want to have too much of it. And before I add the salt to it, I'm going to actually taste the jackfruit first before I add more salt. Okay, so we got everything in here mixing up. It smells so good. It smells just like pernil, just like the roast pork that we make for the holidays. Okay, let me just try a little piece to see. Actually, no, it doesn't need any more salt, so I'm not going to add no more salt to this. So just let this cook until everything, all the flavors and everything come together, and you're going to see how the texture is going to look. Now, like I said, you could put this in the oven, just like this. You could put this in the oven under the broiler, on high or on low, depending. You can put it on low if you want. You have to leave it on the longer. But being that it's already getting nice and crispy, I don't know if you can see like the bits, but it's already nice and brown and crispy. You don't even have to, I mean, you don't really have to take that next step, but you can if you want to. I do it sometimes too. Sometimes I just, I like to go a little extra when I make this. But you can leave this in the pan for a little longer, and it will basically come the same texture basically as if you put the whole pan back in the oven. Now with this, you can make it with a side of yellow rice with pigeon peas and a side of potato salad. That's how Spanish people like it. That's a holiday tradition dish. Or, you can make it with sweet plantains. You can make it with anything. You could put it over a salad. You can make a nice salad. What I think I'm going to do with this is, because I have a head of cabbage here, and I don't want it going bad, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some rice and mix this into the rice and stuff the cabbage with that. And I can upload a video for that too, if you guys are interested in seeing that as well. But this is it, basically, in a nutshell. How to make roast pork. And it's delicious. It really is so good. Like I said, you just leave it in here until everything is tender. And so you could cut through, you see how the bottom part of the jackfruit, it's still tough. So you just leave it in here, put it on a lower flame, medium low, and let it continue to cook until that softens. Okay, so here it is. It's the pork, jackfruit, on top of lettuce with some tomatoes and a little olive oil, a little vinaigrette. And you imagine this with some fried up sweet bananas or some tostones, fried green bananas. It'd be delicious like that too. So this is it. And I hope you enjoyed the recipe. And being this is my first one, I don't know how long it's going to be before I'm able to post it. I'll try to do it by tonight though. And leave the ingredients and everything in the cooking directions in the video. Thank you again. It's so good. Oh my god. It's really good. So let me know when you try it.